All right, good. So this is what day it is in quarantine, we decided to do this one, and we wanted to really help to bring some kind of peace and calm to people, because as we're in quarantine, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. And so, really, one of the things that I love so much about Wendi is that she really helps people with their mindset so much to really help see a situation a little bit differently, help to gain a little bit of clarity, get some focus, and really, get your mind right in any situation, right? So now we're dealing with a time of uncertainty, and so now we get to kind of take some time and journal about what we want to what we want to see our lives become over the next however many days that we are in quarantine, and of course when we get out of this. So we wanted to do this video where we're going to share we were going to share 5 daily journaling prompts during quarantine, but they're also just great journaling prompts in general overall. So they're just great to have handy to just help gain clarity and focus around your goals, your dreams, your life. So that's what we have going on today. Wendi, why don't you tell people a little bit, because you're like an avid journaler and have been for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't used to be. So I worked in corporate America for 25 years. I didn't ever think about journaling. And then when I learned about journaling, I really learned it from the book The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. And she
I
talks
just got
about,
it.
you did?
I
Oh,
just
how about that?
finally got it after so many people told me to get it.
That book really was a game changer. I actually even have a video on The Artist's Way here on YouTube as well, but that was such a insightful book. And what the author recommends is that you do this writing that she calls morning pages, where you just sort of brain dump and you take your pen and you take a journal. And I actually have one here, and you just write without thinking about what you're going to write about. So even if you're writing, my hand hurts and I don't want to write, like whatever it is that comes through, like without judgment, you just write it. And it's such a weird feeling. But I was very challenged. It was very difficult to do in the beginning, but it somehow felt really good to do it. So I have pretty much kept the practice up, not in the same way, not calling it the morning pages, not doing specifically 3 pages every day, but some way, shape, or form, some sort of like journal prompts that we're going to talk about today, or some sort of, at least taking a few minutes each day of journaling and writing.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so funny because I had heard of morning pages and I've heard of this book for so many years and I never read it. And then and I've always journaled. Like I've found journals back from, college, where I'm talking about like the random drama of just being in college, and but
Dating.
dating, lots of dating stories. So those are always fun to come across and see what was like super important to you then and how insignificant it really was. But then I started journal. So then, like kind of sporadically, sometimes I would do it a week at a time, and then I wouldn't do it for weeks or months, and then I would get back to it. So what I love about the morning pages is that it is, and I don't actually do 3 pages like she says either, but every morning I actually started I put my journal right next to my bed. So the right when I wake up, I like roll over and my hand is still like not even awake yet. And I just start writing, because like you said, even if there are days that I'm writing, like, I don't know what to write. I feel like I write the same thing every day. Like, what is like, and then something comes up and comes out. And that is what I love so much about journaling, is like you surprise yourself, because there's just these thoughts going on in your mind that unless you're getting them out on the page, they just like never actually surface. They just kind of keep brewing inside. And so it's really fun to go back a few days and look and see what you've written. Cause sometimes I'm like, who wrote this?
It's true. It very much is true. And you write something and then it surprises you, and then it brings up another idea, another idea, another idea, and then all of a sudden you're writing about something that you hadn't even been thinking about, but it kind of provokes your creativity. And I think that's the point with the artist way, to be able to tap into your creativity. And I know that people that are sitting home right now and they're in quarantine, and maybe some people are thinking they're bored, but once you start, tapping into your creativity, you start thinking about all these projects or ideas, and it's a really good time to do. Like, I decided something very random today, that I'm going to get some fabric paint and paint some flowers on some jeans. I don't know when I would do that, but like anything that can express ourselves right now.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've started doing some creative writing, which was very out of my comfort zone because I'm used to just writing mostly business stuff. And so I started doing more. At first I was saying I was writing poems, but then I was like, oh, they're not really poems. They're just very short pieces, but those are really fun to just play around with. And there's no outcome. I don't have like, there's a goal for this. I think you and I were very goal oriented people. So I think there's always like if I'm going to spend time doing something, there has to be some type of an outcome, like a business thing or something attached to it. And this, just like with your projects, with your jeans, and there's just it's just fun. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that. So, and I think a lot of people are finding themselves, especially during this quarantine, people are, they're doing puzzles and they're writing, or they're picking up a new skill, or, some people, it's so awesome. They have time. So they're learning how to sew face masks for people. So it's just a lot of creativity has been going on. So we wanted to do this video, and we talked about it weeks ago, and finally I'm so happy that we're finally doing it. And since we both are, have a love of journaling, we wanted to share 5 journaling prompts with those of you out there that maybe you're just not as you I think it's really easy for people to say, oh, journaling, like I have to sit down and it has to be this whole big thing and I don't know what to write about. And so journaling prompts is a really easy way to get started. And we're going to share a couple that, like I said, it's great to do during quarantine, and they're great to do whenever because they're just kind of thought provoking questions. So the first journaling prompt is, who or what do you need to let go of so you can live a happier life? Who or what do you need to let go of? I love this one.
I do too, Kate. And there's always something that we have to let go of. It's something that somebody said or didn't say. It's some sort of relationship from the past, or just we get stuck. We don't even know. And sometimes letting go of like something like sugar, or something that's interfering or not really super good for our health, especially now, or really anytime. But yeah, what do I need to let go of? Great question.
And one of the things I love about it too is that I think a lot of people think if they want to change their life, it's all about what can I add? What can I do? I have to do
Yeah.
more, 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 instead of thinking, wait a second, there's probably a lot of things in my life right now that are not serving me. What are they and who are they? And the who question can be a little bit challenging for people, because I think if we're really honest with ourselves, we know who those people are, but it's sometimes hard to let them go. So writing about this is it's even good to just think about, like, how are you going to feel when you let this go? How are you going to feel when you finally let these feelings go? So
And
that's
that's
number.
actually that's actually the second question, right? The second question is, how do you want to feel, and to feel organized, right? So what do you want to let go of? Letting go of like the clutter, the extra clothes in the closet. so that you can feel empowered, that you can feel organized. So to ask the question, sometimes it's not exactly the outcome, like something that's material, but it's more about what you want to experience, what you want to feel. You want to feel love.
Mhm.
So that would maybe be like reaching out to people that you haven't, maybe the idea will come like, how do I want to feel? I want to feel supported and loved and connected and in community. And then you go, you know what, then I should, pull out my, it's not even a Rolodex, pull out my phone and reach back out to old colleagues or friends or family members and get back in touch. How do I want to feel? I want to feel, focused. Like if so, I want to feel like really energized and focused. And then you say, okay, so what that means, and then another idea attaches to it, that I can set the timer on my phone and that I can work uninterrupted for 60 minutes straight. So, how do I want to feel? Like, helps you then determine the action steps that attach to that.
Yeah. Oh, and I love this one. And Wendy, you're so good at helping people get to that place because there's definitely times, I get to spend time with Wendy and they're some of my favorite conversations when we do our little walk and talks. And so it's a lot of this is what I want or this is what I'm trying to get to. And Wendy's always the first one to say, but how do you want to feel about that? What's the feeling on the other side of whatever this business goal is or whatever this relationship goal is? And it really does create this whole new experience around that goal. It like strengthens it so much. So I love that. I love
Yeah.
that prompt. All right. Number 3. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? And basically right now with so my team and I we're talking to a lot of our clients about this right now, especially during quarantine, especially during all of this uncertainty and craziness. Some people are handling it really well and some people are just going crazy. So what do you want people to say about you? How you handled this time, how you dealt with it? Did you step up? Did you become were you a leader? Were you someone who stayed positive and helped and helped people during this time? So getting when we're journaling around what you want to be known for, it's going to help you figure out what are those things that I need to start doing in order for that to happen. And Wendy, you put it the other way before we jumped on this call, which is, what are people going to say about you? What are they going to say about you at the end of this?
Yeah, we have an opportunity to stand out right now. We have an opportunity to step into our leadership right now. We have an opportunity to lift other people up right now. And so there's a lot that we can do from our quarantine. There's a lot that we can do professionally. There's a lot that we can do personally. And some of it might be out of your comfort zone. And I got a video today from one of my neighbor's daughters, and she's 30 and she's launching her business. And what I loved is she just woke up today and she grabbed the video camera and she made a video. And she pretty much was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And then she grabbed the camera and she did an amazing job. And to start doing that, to stand out, and she really had in her heart a message that she wanted to share that's very uplifting. And so now she's going to stand out because she actually hit the record button and did that. So, yeah.
I love that. And that leads very beautifully into our next journaling prompt.
The next journaling prompt, which is something that I just added in specifically in this way this year, is who is someone that you can surprise with some sort of gift or acknowledgement, and something that you can journal about and maybe think of somebody new every day. It can be something like sending them a gift on Amazon. For example, book, like your favorite book, something like that. Or it could be reaching out to a colleague and saying something really supportive and kind for them, or checking in on them as well. It's like like a surprise that it's not something you normally would do. It's something that stands out a little bit differently.
Yeah, I love that one too. And this is such a great time to do it. Reaching out to people that
Yeah.
you haven't spoken to in a while.
Yeah, that is for sure. A simple kindness right now can go a long, long, long way. If you know that someone, they love drinking coconut water, I mean, something as simple as that, in sending them a care package and sending them, coconut water, or now all the restaurants are delivering food. So not only are you supporting a local business, but then you're helping everybody across the board, supporting the business, and then you are sending something to somebody that lets them know extra, a little extra, and you're really going to stand out. And it's going
Yeah.
to and it's going to feel really good to you, because the person doing it actually, like, they gain even more than the person that's receiving it on that end. And that's the part, it's really true.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I like the idea of doing that one every day, just making it a daily practice. All right. Journaling prompt number 5. So, this one, again, I mean, as you can see, these are all great prompts, no matter what journey, what part of life you're in. I mean, these are just all great questions to ask ourselves. But the next one is, what do you want your life to look like 6 months from now? And this one, you kind of can couple it with what Wendi said, which is, what do you want it to look like? How do you want to feel? And that is really, I mean, again, Wendi, you're so good at this. When we think, if you want to gain clarity around your goals and what's most important to you, thinking about what you want your life to be like 6 months from now is going to help you gain clarity around, what are the things I should really be focusing my time doing if I want to get to that place 6 months from now, and have those things and feel those emotions. That's going to help guide you in order to get there. So, and it's just a fun activity to do when you're thinking about, really, where do you see yourself? What job do you have? What relationships are you in? Do you have better relationships with certain people in your life right now? Where have you gone? How do you spend your days?
I also think too, like, you'll think of the things that you don't want,
Yeah.
and that will help guide you as well. You'll think of the areas of your life, like you'll think back to your past, like what had been normal for you, as you're redefining a new normal, and say, I'm not going to carry those types of relationships into the next phase, like if we call it like a phase of our lives. And also, you said something that I think is really, really important, about, let's say, if like 6 months from now, and we all do this like in New Year's time, like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. Well, now it takes a whole different meaning. Now it is significantly important to take control of your life. Now, exercise is vitally important. And so there's no more kind of putting it off or waiting till New Year's to make another New Year's resolution that we don't keep. So now's what does health look like 6 months from now? What do, like, all those things that you said, relationship. And if you don't know what business is going to look like, then, now's the time that like, what are your favorite hobbies? Like, what is it that you love to do? What do you love helping people with? And asking those kind of questions. And just the journaling, like, you don't even know what's going to pop out. Like, you don't know that, if you're wondering what your next career move is going to be, when you start journaling, you might get those ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing, one of my friends who I adore, he gave me such great advice when it comes to journaling, because I s- sometimes I sit down. Well, actually, this was really a piece of advice for writing, because I said, sometimes I sit down and I want to write, but I just don't know where to start. And he says, something that I do that really helps me is saying the word or writing, just typing out the words. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. And then he's like, and then you'll start writing something, and then you do the writing. And then he's like, and then you just get rid of here's the deal. And I've actually used that and it's worked. It at least gets your mind out of overthinking, which I think was the whole point of what Julia Cameron talked about, which is in the morning, you just don't have as many thoughts. You're not overthinking. You're not thinking anything needs to be perfect or sound perfect. And I was just watching a webinar with Rachel Hollis, the writer Rachel Hollis, and she says that she does write super early in the morning, right when she gets out of bed, because she doesn't have those voices in her mind telling her like this isn't good or anything like that, because it's just too early. So I love that.
I love it too. Yep. Journaling, it's definitely it opens up a whole new world. It's like there's a whole world that comes out of a pen. You're like, really? Like that can come out of this? Like somehow it gets like your wheels turning, and then through this it like ends up on the page, and then you're able to see it. And then some of it you're going to go wow, and some of it you're going to go, oh, I don't know about that. But that's okay because it didn't go anywhere. It's just on the page.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like you have to remember the journaling is for you. Don't think someone's going to read it. Hopefully, no one will read your journal, but you can't go into it thinking someone's going to read it. Or like, there's definitely things that I've written and kind of been shocked because it's things that you almost like don't want to admit out loud.
It allows you to be vulnerable too. It gives
Yes.
you a place, like a place to park it. Like if you're not willing to actually say it just yet, it allows you to express and be authentic. It allows you to be authentic and vulnerable, and to go deep inside of your soul, and to get to know yourself, to explore who you are or who you want to be, like who am I and who do I want to be, and all of that kind of comes out by asking these questions. And yeah, and it's a very interesting process. So I'm really happy and delighted that we're having this conversation today.
Yes, me too. And Wendi, thank you so much because like I said, we've been talking about doing this for a long time, and we were going to get together and do this recorded video, and then now it's like let's just try doing a YouTube live. We'll check we'll try it for the first time. We'll see what happens, and I hope that everybody that's watching this got some value out of it. You try these journaling prompts. We would love to hear from you and love to hear how they worked for you and what you were able to discover about yourself by exploring some of these questions. And of course, if you have some great journaling prompts that you want to share with us, let us know. And check out Wendi's YouTube channel. She's got incredible content, always putting out so much amazing content that you're one of the most calm, peaceful people, especially from like a coach on the coaching side. You want a coach that's very grounded and like really helps you work through your things, and that's what you do. You just have this way about delivering a message, and it's just very calming, and you break things down really simply for people. And so definitely go check out your channel. What is your channel called?
Well, first, thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you. My channel is Wendi with an I, Blum, but I am segueing into the Weiss, but it's Wendi Blum here, and we can always add the link below. And I just love being on your network, on your YouTube channel. I admire you. You're one of my favorite people. Everything from here on YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and all the great leadership tools that you share, that you work with large companies, mid-sized companies, all the work that you do. So I learned so much from you all the time. And yeah, it's been really great to be part of it today.
Well, thank you, Wendi. And yes, we definitely love to learn from each other. It's never a dull moment with our conversations. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And hey, we'll probably do some more of these because, why not? They're fun. And hopefully you guys are getting some value out of them. And we'll maybe head over to Wendy's channel a couple times too.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.